welcome to Aging Disgracefully, a weekly oddcast of seriously funny and sometimes raunchy monologues. I'm Carolyn Meyer, and I'm delighted to tell you that my very favorite guest, Lusty Bangor, is back with us again for episode number 28. Welcome back, Lusty. It's so exciting to have you again on Aging Disgracefully, and especially today, June 8th, because it's your birthday, and it's mine too. Isn't that a marvelous coincidence? It surely is, Caroline, and of course I'm happy to be here, although it does occur to me that I'm not your typical guest, because I'm not aging disgracefully. I'm not aging at all. If you want to get old, whether it's gracefully or not so much, that's fine, because you really don't have a whole lot of choice now, do you? I mean, you're a good bit further along that road than I am. I'm thinking you'd be closer to my mama's age if she was still alive, bless her soul. She passed some 20 years ago. She was quite elderly. I'm sorry to hear that your mother died, Lusty, but I don't think it was time to let her go, Caroline. She was just, all wrinkly and flabby and dried up. Kind of pathetic, you want to know the truth. If I ever get like that, I'd just as soon go to my heavenly reward as quick as possible. Well, then, let's just enjoy the fact that we're both celebrating our birthdays today. Now, when you were here last time, you had announced that you were running for mayor of Albuquerque. But you also told us about your professional life since you retired as a porn star with the founding of the Lusty Bangor School of Pornography, I think you called it. So we're looking forward to hearing how things are playing out for you. Caroline, it's just amazing. Right now I have become one of the most popular influencers in the world. I have an excess of 69 million followers on TikTok. You're on TikTok? Really? 69 million followers. Tell us how that came about. Well, as you know, I was a porn star for many years. Well, actually, not that many, but I was experienced in the field, and I had really cool moves. There's things that a mature woman can perform so much more effectively than those young gals you see on TikTok. My performance is more subtle, more seductive. Those young gals look like they're performing at a football game for the Cunnilingus Valley Beavers, and my performance has considerably more star power. As a result of my becoming an influencer, catching up fast to the Kardashians and that Addison Rae girl and her cosmetics, I decided to introduce my own line of beauty products, Luscious Lusty. And not just for the ladies. I have all kinds of good stuff for the gentlemen, too. Luscious Lusty. Great name. We've got to hear more. Oh, of course. And now for the ladies, and especially for you, Caroline, I have a product called Jizz Fizz. It's a wonderful lotion that erases lines and age spots and bags under the eyes. It's a natural product, and I get most of my jizz from donors, philanthropists, I guess you could call the gentlemen who stop by my laboratory a couple times a week. I give them a little entertainment, nothing fancy, and they make a donation. My assistants package it up in little baggies and send it out to my subscribers. So you just put a little on your fingertips and pat it on, massage it in gently, and the first thing you know, you're looking years younger. I recommend you use it regularly. That's nothing short of inspiring, Lusty. You mentioned that you also have a product for men? I do indeed. It's called Quim for him. Good name, don't you think? Evocative? I mean, if Gwyneth Paltrow can name her products Goop, I can sure as shooting get market share with Jizz Fizz and Quim for him. Absolutely, you're on a roll. Do you have anything else going on, Lusty? Actually, I do. My success with Luscious Lusty has inspired the establishment of the Lusty Bangor Salon de Beauté. That's French for beauty parlor, in case your audience doesn't understand French. The Lusty Bangor Salon de Beauté specializes in help for those ladies that weren't born beautiful or have lost whatever looks they might have had at one time. I have sympathy for those women. Women not unlike yourself, Caroline, who might need some hints on how to make yourselves more attractive to the opposite sex. Or the same sex, if you go in that direction. Lusty, I do have to admit, you've hit a sensitive spot with me. It's not easy getting older. I'm adding another year to the total today, as you know, but it also wasn't easy being young and the very plain daughter of a beautiful mother. Back then, I had pigtails and buck teeth and glasses, and by the time I was in the third grade, the boys called me Professor Pisspot, mostly because of the glasses, I think. Oh, honey, it wasn't the glasses. You probably scared those little boys half to death. Now you scare the big boys half to death, am I right? The Salon de Beauté helps women such as yourself how to be appealing. And I'm not talking about things like dyeing your hair, although that would not be a bad idea in your case. I hope you're not suggesting that I dye my hair, Lusty. I love my white hair. Well, you can love it all you want, but I'm telling you, men don't like it. And that's what matters, isn't it? The thing you got to understand, Caroline, is that white hair like yours reminds men of their mothers. It makes them think of things they don't want to think about. Like what? Well, like death. I mean, a little silver streak here and there might be okay. You could get away with that. But if I was you, I'd get my hair dyed blonde like mine. Or maybe auburn. And then you better get to work on those eyebrows, too. I see a lot of white hairs in them. So I should get my eyebrows dyed, too? That's what you're saying? Frankly, sweetie, if you came to the Lusty Bangor Salon de Beauté, I would recommend a complete makeover. First, let your hair grow out. Men like long, thick hair they can run their fingers through. What can they do with a cut like yours? I mean, you do look very butch, Caroline. But if you want to get yourself a man, you better let that hair grow and then color it. Actually, you might could get yourself a wig. See how that works for you. Apparently it works for you. Honey, it's just an enhancement. But where you should consider getting a wig, well, never mind. We'll get to that part later on. Let's just move on to the eyebrows for now. I'd say because they really need some shaping. You have your eyebrows threaded. That's what you do. An esthetician takes out all the hairs you don't want. And yes, it does hurt. But pain is a natural part of beauty. You know that. Meanwhile, getting back to the eyes. After you've done the eyebrows, you get some eyebrow tattoos, an eyeliner tattoo down here as well, and invest in some good quality eyelashes. But before you do any of that, I'd get those bags removed from under your eyes. In fact, I would start with the bags if I was in your shoes. This is beginning to sound really expensive, Lusty. Painful to the pocketbook, but worth every cent of it. At your advanced age, how do you expect you're going to find a man without doing a complete remodeling job? You got to work with what you got, Caroline, which, to be perfectly honest, is not much. Now, let me just ask you a few questions. Lusty, I'm certainly glad for your suggestions, but I haven't felt this inadequate since I was in my early teens. And I was always writing to advice columnists for help. First, it was because I wanted a bra, but I didn't have boobs, although I was praying every night, "Dear Jesus, please give me tits." And my thighs were too big, and my mother gave me a home perm that was really awful. Well, as I said, we can improve the thing about the hair and the eyebrows. That's not a huge problem. But I would also recommend that you get some breast augmentation. You know, men are really into boobs. You want to have cleavage like mine. It does sound like we're embarking on a complete makeover. I mean, this is getting a little scary. Honey, it's just the beginning. But the Lusty Bangor Salon de Beauté can take care of most everything in-house, except major surgery. Now, let me just ask you a question. Do you shave? Shave? No, actually, I thought I did a pretty good job with the tweezers. I'm not talking about your chin, Caroline. I mean down there. This is where we can take care of your pussy. We can make sure you get a nice, neat Brazilian. Just zip all that gnarly, straggly stuff right off. Then you have a choice. You can either be just as smooth and pretty as you were when you were a little girl, or you can get yourself a merkin. Perhaps you would like to explain what a merkin is? I'd be glad to. A merkin is a downstairs wig. You can get one to match the hair on your head, or you can go glamorous. You might want to consider a nice shade of purple. Maybe have one with sparkly little sequin stitched to it, you know? Gentlemen get a really nice feeling when a lady goes to the trouble of taking care of herself down there, you know. They're grateful as all get out. Lusty, I'm worn out just hearing about all this, but it's interesting to me and to our audience, too, so I thank you for that. But one of the main reasons I invited you to come back today, and I mentioned this at the beginning of our program, is that you and I are both celebrating our birthdays. Oh, Carolyn, I don't know about you, but I just love having a celebration of my birthday. Far as I'm concerned, you can skip all the other holidays. Christmas and Thanksgiving and all that. I like a holiday in which I am the center of attention. I want the limelight shining on me, not on some damn turkey. And that would be my birthday. Not that I mind sharing it with you, Caroline. I'm flattered that you'd even consider sharing with me. Do you have any special thing you'd like to have for your birthday? Well, as a matter of fact, now that you ask, yes, there is. The one thing I want for my birthday, the only thing, is to have June the 8th declared a holiday in the state of New Mexico. That is entirely appropriate since I'm well known all around this state, famous here in Albuquerque, and have 69 million followers on TikTok and growing. Doesn't get any better than that. So the first thing I'll do after I'm elected mayor next November is to have the 8th of June declared Lusty Bangor Day to be celebrated every year on my birthday. That's a campaign promise I intend to keep. I'm confident that you'll make it happen. My thanks to you for joining us today on Aging Disgracefully, and happy birthday, Lusty Bangor. Happy birthday to you too, Caroline. You can watch this on YouTube and read it and other stories on my blog at funnycarolyn.com. Please come back next week. I have no idea what I'm going to be talking about. And be sure to subscribe. I'm Carolyn Meyer, and I'm Aging Disgracefully.